I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been feeling kind of overwhelmed lately.
Ah! What?
Did you just take an espresso bean like a pill?
It's a life hack.
Hit the music, let's start this show.
You can't live your life trying to do everything perfect. Even if you make mistakes, you're a good person.
First time in a sex shop?
Yes.
Okay, now cowboy up! I love that. Who needs men when you got good music, great vibes, and the best gals? I told him I'd talk to him later, because tonight is for the girls.
Very dumb. I would have taken him to the laundry room and gone through all the bases twice.
She's one of those people, and I'm sure I'm not alone, that when terrible things happen or I've behaved badly, I'm packing my bags. I'm going to Italy where no one knows me, so I don't have to face myself. But she can't leave her friends, and she can't leave this, she has to come back. I think she's trying to be better.
Yeah, I think that I think Kimberly got a little confused. I think she thought, Kanan's a really good friend, and I think she thought, maybe there's more here. I think that we see kind of the reflection that Kimberly has to do to kind of understand that her friendship with Whitney is what matters the most, and how can she rectify that.
I mean, there's obviously a situation to deal with, but I do think the summer has passed and the shock of it has worn off a little bit. There's still some frustration and hurt, but it's more a curiosity of what happened actually. I actually think we need to talk this through as friends, me and Kimberly, to figure out I thought we were better than that. Did you not? I'm more hurt by you making that decision and not telling me than I am about the boy. Obviously the boy matters, but
Right.
So there's that. And then beyond that, I think she's had a rough go of it in the dating world, but I think it's because she's tried to control so much. Following the soccer coach Dalton situation, I think she's tried to approach every relationship with the sense of control, and that she knows what's happening at all times and that it's on her page. And this time around, she tries that with a new person and they sort of resist and kind of counter that with I think you're taking this too seriously, and chill. And weirdly, I think that's what she needs. She needed someone to just be stop thinking so much and just calm down, vibe. Just vibe and have sex and not put labels and stakes on it. And she's oh, right, I didn't realize that was something we could do. So she does that with someone, and I think learns to release control in relationships, which then leads her down a path that's very interesting. That's what I'll say.
Casey is a transfer student who came to Essex because her boyfriend goes there, and they originally had wanted to go to college together, but he got into Essex and she didn't. So she finally got in for sophomore year, and she is a former pageant queen who is from the South and is very I guess I would say she's very excitable. She's very excited, and she doesn't necessarily come to Essex looking for romance, because she believes that she's in the relationship that she'll end up in for the rest of her life. And she doesn't necessarily come to Essex looking for friendship either, because she thinks she's only going to spend time with her boyfriend, which is hilarious. And kind of everything about her life gets totally upended, and her worldview has to kind of immediately shift, and she becomes, more reliant on the girls in her life, and also potentially interested in meeting some other romantic partners.
She is a first year international student. She's from Britain. She's from Mayfair, darling, as everybody is. And she is a complex character. She kind of starts the year off. She's very strong in who she is, which is amazing, but kind of unfaltering. And so that can sometimes come to her detriment. She can be quite defensive and come across a bit harsher than I think she actually is. And so throughout that season, you can kind of you start to learn more about her and why she is the way she is, and that slightly starts to melt away. Weirdly enough, through her friendships and her relationships, you know, through, I suppose, dating life, there's well, two kind of things. She obviously starts her season off with Bella being her faff, and that's an interesting relationship because Taylor's definitely not somebody that likes for people to tell her what to do. And so that kind of causes a bit of clash, but through that clash, you kind of can see that there is actually a bit of care there. There's a reason why they rub each other off the wrong way. And so it's a bit of a yin and yang, but slowly their actual friendship starts to form, and that's really beautiful. But I think Taylor, in terms of dating, she is very queer, very proud, very loud about it, and it's so fun to have that storyline explored. She definitely has a lot of fun with that. You know, you kind of get from the get-go that shown. She I remember my first scene on my first day, it was with Bella, but I was at a party, and before any form of dialogue, I was kissing this girl, which was my first kiss on camera ever, and it was my first day, and I was literally so nervous. I was in a room of like 150 people, and I was like, right, I've got to have my first on-screen kiss, then I've got to remember like 6 pages of dialogue. It's my first day, I'm literally terrified. But it was amazing, and it obviously worked out really well. But she tries her hand on a lot, let's just say, but it's one that kind of eventually ends up in maybe Taylor finding love for the first time, which is really nice.